Good evening, I'm Lieutenant Ray Spencer. I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm out here this evening to brief you on a homicide investigation that we are conducting in the 5600 block of East Sahara, which is an apartment complex in the eastern part of the valley near the intersection of Sloan and Sahara. The details that I have right now are very preliminary, but at around 8 p.m. tonight, officers responded to an unknown trouble call at the apartment complex behind me. When they arrived, they were met by a neighbor who stated that there was a female in an upstairs apartment who was screaming for help, that somebody was inside their house, and that neighbor went in to render aid. At that point, the female was found suffering from multiple injuries that we believe she sustained from blunt force trauma, being someone's fist or being choked. We don't know specifically what led up to the struggle. What we have learned is that the suspect lives in an apartment directly below the victim. The suspect was involved in a domestic disturbance with his live-in girlfriend. During the domestic disturbance, he became upset, left the apartment, went upstairs, and appears to have gone into a neighbor's house unprovoked and physically killed her during a physical assault. Again, we're still trying to figure out how she died. We know there was a violent confrontation inside the apartment. Neighbors could be hurt, or a neighbor has told us that they heard the victim screaming, "Why are you here? Why are you inside my apartment?" Stuff to that effect. At that point, the male suspect fled the apartment, and we are actively looking to locate him. He is a Hispanic male in his early 30s. Our victim is a black female in her early 60s. So again, at this point, we believe the incident is completely unprovoked and a result of the suspect at some point was, again, in a domestic with his girlfriend, which was completely unrelated, and went upstairs and killed the woman who was inside of her apartment. So with that, I will take a couple questions, but again, it's still very early in the investigation.
I'm sorry, miss, can you give some more information about the suspect who you're looking for?
He's a Hispanic male. He's 32 years of age who lives in the apartment complex. We're still trying to get some further information as far as his whereabouts. Again, that's very early on in the investigation.
Do you know if this victim and this suspect had prior interactions?
We don't know that at this point. Again, what we're learning from statements that were overheard and from neighbors is that it appears he just left his apartment, went upstairs. Don't know how he got into the neighbor's apartment, but at the end, physically beat her up and killed her during that assault.
Is the woman who he was fighting with, who he lives with downstairs, okay? Was she injured at all?
Her and her children are not injured. We are speaking with her right now. We're conducting those interviews as I'm talking to you.
You mentioned blunt force trauma. Do we have any idea what type of weapon was used, if any?
We don't. That's what we're still trying to determine right now is exactly what injury she received. I mean, we know she was battered. Originally, we thought there was a potential that the injuries were from a gunshot, but again, we don't believe that that's the case at this point. We believe it is a physical altercation that led to her death.
At this point, what's going to help you guys solve this crime and bring this man into custody?
Well, right now it's still, like I said, early on in the investigation, but we have probable cause right now for this person's arrest. We are actively looking to locate him and take him into custody.
Did any neighbor have that surveillance camera?
Again, we're still in that process as far as canvassing and talking to witnesses.
I know you guys are still investigating the relationship between this man or this woman upstairs. Would you say she was innocent in all this? Do you think she had any interaction with this man or know him previous to this?
Again, as far as them knowing each other, I don't know. But I know she was not involved in the domestic disturbance. I know she was inside of her apartment, and that the suspect left his apartment, went upstairs, went inside her apartment, and that is when she was killed. So there's nothing at this point that indicates that, to answer your question, yes, she is a innocent victim that was inside of her apartment.
And then just a quick unrelated question, we're hearing about some incident at Boulder Station, people evacuated from a floor. Do you guys know anything about that?
I have no idea regarding the Boulder Station. Well, I do know there's an incident happening at Boulder Station, but I don't know any specific details for it. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.